Hi, this is Hemel Thakrar from KODAK Alaris. Moving on from our info input demonstrations, let's look at a scenario where we're getting mixed types of documents arriving in like a mailroom type environment. Some of the advanced features of info input, like the ability to classify documents visually and then extract them using intelligent OCR from different intelligent OCR providers. So let's launch info input. And let's scan a batch. So we create a batch in a job called Central Office Documents. Now, what you'll notice here is we've got a mixture of different types of documents. We've got some automobile claim forms. We've got some shipping notes or airway bills, VAT return forms. So there's a front and a rear side to that one. We've got a health insurance claim form here and a passport application down at the bottom here. Now, what you'll notice in the Batch Explorer is we've got one document with 18 pages in it, or 18 images. At this point, we haven't done any metadata extraction or reading of any information off of the documents, and we're not utilizing any type of separator like a patch code or a barcode on the document to be used as separator. We're going to visually classify the documents from our info input server. So in order to begin that process, I close the batch because then that hands the batch back onto the server, where the server can then use its AI-based technology called computer vision to visually look at the document and decide what that document is. And once it has decided what the document is, it can then extract specific bits of metadata from that document. If we look at our Batch Explorer, we can actually check to see at what point the batch is at in the workflow. So it's at the extraction step. So it's past the classification step using that computer vision technology or CVT to identify the document type. And once we know the document type for each of those documents, we can then begin the extraction process. Now, the extraction can use different methods. We can do zonal extraction, where we know where the information is on the document. And you normally know that if it's a structured type document. But if it's not a structured type document, so it's unstructured, we can use another feature called key value pairs using an intelligent OCR engine. Now, with key value pairs, we just need to tell info input we're looking for a purchase order number or a name or an address. Info input would intelligently go and find that on the document. So let's open the batch again. Now, what you'll immediately notice now in my Batch Explorer is I still have 18 pages, but they're all separated into 13 different documents, some of them 1 page, some of them 2 page. And on the right-hand side here, we see in our indexing screen, we see the data, the metadata that's been extracted from the document automatically using intelligent OCR. Now, we could use zonal extraction for that intelligent OCR, or if it's an unstructured document where we don't know where the information is, we can use key value pairs. So if I move on to the next document, so what you'll notice here is we're extracting the barcode. What you'll notice, this is a slightly different layout to the first document. So this is the basic indexing layout where we just have index fields listed in this way. And this is using an advanced indexing layout where we can do things like create snippets of the image itself of where the information was found on the document. We can also create buttons, and when we click on the buttons, they can run a specific or unique script to do something unique for this particular document. We'll see some of those examples in a later demonstration. But let's look at this one. So we're capturing the barcode and populating that into an index field. We're either zonally extracting or using a key value pair to extract the account number, which is imprinted text, along with the sender company. And then we're using intelligent OCR to decipher the handwriting, so the cursive text on the document, and populate that into an index field. And we can also use the one of the other features of the info input solution, which is the ability to do mark detection. So with mark detection, you can detect whether a box is ticked or not, or whether there's a signature within a box. And it's good for things like survey forms or detecting whether a contract has been signed or not. So to do the QA check, I could either scroll through the documents in my Batch Explorer, or down here I can just keep clicking Next, checking that all of the information has been extracted and populated correctly. And once I'm happy that everything's been extracted, I can then close the batch, and it will move it on to the next step of the workflow, which is to output the batch. Just one thing on this particular document here. So you'll notice that this document has got, it's like an application form for a passport, and it's where hand printed text or hand printed characters are written into constrained boxes. And you can see here that the intelligent OCR has identified that they're in constrained boxes and automatically removed things like spaces or other noise you might see from the document. And we simply close the batch, and it then moves it on to the next step, which is the output step. And if we take a look at the folder where it's going to be outputting those documents to, it's created a folder called Central Office Documents because that's the name of the job within Info Input. And then I've got it to create a separate folder based on each document classification. So what did Info Input identify that document as, to create a folder based on that? So here's one on for the auto claim reports. We've got the PDFs and the metadata. And then we've got the same for the insurance health claim forms, and the passport application, the VAT forms, and lastly, the airway bills. So simply we can check the PDF has been generated, and there we go. And then check the metadata. And you got things like the airway bill number, sender account, sending company, receiving company. And remember, the receiving company was handwritten in to the field on the form, and we've basically translated that into a string and captured that metadata, including the value as well.